Good evening and welcome to my fourth today. And I have got Kerry King. And Kerry, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Tell everybody what you do.
Okay. So I'm a pet bereavement counsellor. So I help people who are struggling with either facing the loss of a companion animal for whatever reason, rehoming, need to make a decision at the vets, or I also help clients that have also lost a pet, whether through euthanasia, died through old age illness, or have gone missing or been rehomed. If you're struggling with, missing a companion and the grief and bereavement associated with that, then I'm here to help you cope with it.
When is the when you lost your pet? When is it the best time to say goodbye, or
Do
when
you
is
mean,
it the right time?
well, when's the right time to make the decision?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that there never is a right time. I think, like, in one respect, it never seems to be the right time because you're having to face losing, your best friend and your companion. So, but when I used to work in the vets as a veterinary care assistant, I used to say to people that when the bad days outnumber the good days, then it's time to, you know, make a decision. And I know there are some vets out there that say rather a week too early than a day too late, and I understand it's easy for us on the other side to say, now the time's come. We're not the ones having to make that final decision. However, sometimes you just need someone to urge you on and just give you that, I don't know, just like a bit of a encouragement, a bit of a go ahead, and just to say, look, you're doing the right thing. So I think I read somewhere that someone used to use like smiley face stickers on the calendar, and then
All right.
like sad faces for the bad days, and then you had a visual reminder then of how many good days and how many bad days you were having. But the best way to ultimately make the decision is the quality of life scales. There's quite a few out there, and it goes through everything. You have to be brutally honest with your answers because you're not doing yourself or your companion any favours by trying to minimise what they're going through, what you're going through.
Yeah.
And, I do think deep down, I think if you're already thinking, should I make a decision, then I think subconsciously, I think you've already made it, but your head and your heart are having trouble catching up with one another. And, but it's a very personal decision. But ultimately, it's whatever's best for your companion, really,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
obviously I know everyone understands that.
Yeah. Um. What? So preparing for pet loss.
Mm,
So really, that's really difficult, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, I don't think anything really prepares you for losing them. You can put plans in place as to what you would like to happen towards the end, have some control over how it happens or where and who you'd like to be present and what you'd like to do. But I think when the time actually comes, it's almost like it all goes out the window. You've made these plans and maybe you stick to them and everything goes smoothly, but it's I don't think you ever fully prepare for it. I think you do to a point where you're able to go ahead with the appointment or you're able to, leave them with the vet or at the crematorium or what have you. But I think that it's not something that you can say, well, I've put everything in place, I've planned, I'm prepared, and then the day comes and you're fine with it. I think even if you're very extremely organised and you setting what you need to do, it's still going to it still knocks you sideways. I think when it
Yeah, and
actually
also,
comes.
and also, Kelly,
Mm.
people are probably watching us and are probably saying, mm, "Well, it's only a pet, it's nothing. If they die, they die. They live
Mm.
short lives anyway." What do you say about that?
Um, I think sometimes people may feel that way because it makes it easier to deal with losing them. If we it's like when people say, "Oh, I don't know why I'm getting so upset. It's just whatever pet it is." I wonder if the people that say that are saying it because by minimizing it, it's almost lessening the impact for them. It's easier to handle if you come to terms with the fact that that pets generally don't live as long as we do, unless it's like a tortoise or something like that.
Mm.
And I think when we think, well, they don't live as long as we do, then you sort of form this sort of acceptance in your mind, and it makes it easier to handle when we do lose them, because it's like, well, I wasn't expecting to have them that long anyway, so anytime I had extra was a bonus. And I think it's just that individual's way of making it a little bit easier to handle losing them. Although there's no shame in being upset about obviously like losing a companion, no matter how long you've had them for.
Mm.
It still hurts, and yeah, there are those out there that
Oh
don't
yeah,
see. Yeah.
I used to. I had a dog. We had a dog since I was at secondary school,
Hmm.
and it died like in 2012, I think it was.
Right.
Two, 2000. So for all that time, I had that dog, and when that dog was getting, getting kind of like really bad and everything,
Mm-hmm.
they said to us that we need to put her down,
Right.
and I didn't really want to, and
No.
because, and then it's kind of like letting go, you take the dog, to the vets. They said that got to put it down. Then you
Yeah.
just walk out and you haven't got her,
Yeah.
and then the grief comes, the loss comes in, then the
Yeah.
grief. How
Yeah.
can somebody deal with that?
Yeah. It's very difficult. It is very difficult because there are so many things going on. You've had to make a decision, or someone's had to make the decision on your behalf, and then you've probably been present for the actual euthanasia itself, or you didn't get the chance to be present, and then you're dealing with the physical absence of your loved one. And it's a lot to deal with, it's a lot to take in. But the important thing to remember is that however you're feeling is right for you, and there is no right or wrong way of grieving. You can't do it wrong. There's no, every person is different with how they react. And, just I find that with some clients of mine, they contact me after about a week or so after losing a companion, and I'll say to them, look, in grief terms, that's really quite recent. It's and so they worry that the feelings that they're having are abnormal, and that they're going mad, or that they're never going to feel any better than they do now. And that's where people like myself come in, trying to help people to realise and recognise that how they're feeling is completely natural. It's unique to them, although it's a universal experience. Everyone reacts differently, and everyone has different time frames of how they not move on. I don't think we ever move on, but we move forwards, and we just learn to cope without having our companion with us physically, you know. Yeah, it's very difficult, and there's no one size fits all. It's not something that you can cure or make better. It's something that you just help people to manage and cope with.
Yeah, did you know in the last year, 57,000 complaints of animal cruelty was
Mm,
reported in this country?
right. That's shocking.
57,000.
Yeah.
And, and out of that 57, a lot of people kind of actually lost their pets
Mm,
because what they did was they went on to, they put them into these boarding places and everything,
right.
and they just died through the COVID. Bad, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, I thought I'd tell you
Yeah.
about that. But
Yeah.
the trouble is, when we kind of like lose our pets,
Mm,
what can we do? What kind of things can we? I know we covered this before, but what kind of things can we remember them by?
yeah. All right. So there's There's a few ways that you can sort of pay tribute to your pet or memorialize. Sorry, them. And again, it's a very individual thing. Some people like to keep the ashes in the casket or an urn, keep it somewhere prominent. Some people dedicate a particular shelf in a cabinet to their companions' cremains and will put fresh flowers there or photos and little trinkets as a way of paying tribute to them. Some people will use some of the ashes to turn into jewellery or like resin crafts. Um, some people may use like pet portrait artists to, paint a custom picture of their companion. There's a few companies out there that make like stuffed toy versions of your companion, which is quite nice. Some companies out there, the likeness is uncanny. Else, some people like to just keep a journal where they can write to their companion and sort of keep them up to date with things that are going on and talk to them through the journal sort of thing. Others may like scrapbooking and they can pick and choose favourite photos and arrange them however they want and turn them into a scrapbook and write out the memories that come up with each photo. Um, some people would maybe prefer like a digital collage of photos that they can keep on a memory stick and they can just replay it whenever they want to. Some people may want to donate to an animal charity in the name of their companion so that their name and legacy is continuing good for others less fortunate. So there's a few ways you could do it,
Yeah.
and again, it's up to the individual, whatever brings them comfort. Really, there's no weird, none of it's weird or wacky or out of the ordinary. Whatever brings you comfort and keeps their memory alive is as long as it harms no one else and it's not harming you or your mental health, then go for it. Do whatever brings you comfort.
And tell them and tell people about you, what you do, what you do for living, and tell everybody how you can help them if they lost their pet.
Okay, so what I do is I provide like a talking therapy really. So I am here to listen to people who may find that people around them are, maybe not wanting to hear about how that person's feeling, or that person may be worried that others around them are tired of hearing the same story and same emotions. And sometimes you just need a neutral ear, and sometimes you just need to talk to somebody that can sympathise with you and empathise to a degree and knows where you're coming from and won't judge you, won't rush you, will listen to what you have to say. And I tend to I say to people that I'll either just listen, if that's all you need is a listening ear, I'll listen and just be there for you that way, or listen and try to offer a different. I try to offer like a different perspective to
Yeah,
things, so that people can see things in a different way. And sometimes when you're stuck in your grief, it's very hard to see a way forwards. And I try and reassure people that what they're going through is natural, it's normal, that, it's not going to last forever, even though it feels like it will. And I had just helped people to see a way forwards and a different perspective on what they're going through, but also just give them the opportunity to just really say out loud what they're feeling and what they're going through to somebody that, as I say, is a neutral ear, that's non-judgmental and has been where they are, but would never dream of saying, I know how you feel, because I don't, because I'm not that person,
mm,
but I can understand where they're coming from.
yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant, very good. And how do people contact you, Kerry?
So I'm available on, I have a website, um, www.animalbereavementcounselling.com. You can phone me 075 222 02498. Contact me on Facebook. Just look Carrie Kearnes Animal Bereavement or Pet Bereavement. And I'm more than happy to. I do offer like a free 10-minute chat if you want to speak to me and just find out how I work and see whether you think I would be a good fit for you and what you need. And yeah, so I'm quite open to talking to anyone that needs the support, and they offer phone, email, WhatsApp, Zoom, and face-to-face sessions. But the face-to-face sessions are only in Bolton or Bury because those are the two main areas I'm around. So, but
Right.
yeah,
Okay. Brilliant. Very good. So if you want to get in contact with Carrie, and please believe me, she's very good at what she does, and she's been with us now for quite a while now, isn't she?
yeah,
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 it's really good. Yeah, and we love having Carrie on because that's because she's the only person who we got who deals with pet bereavement, and we like to keep it to one person. And so if you need a contactor, you can either contact her yourself or contact me, and we will get in contact with her for you. Um, please, also, if you need more information on any other shows that we are doing, please contact us on Crossfields Podcast UK, and we will give you all the information you need. Kerry, thanks very much. If you
you're
stay there
welcome.
for a second,
Yeah, thank
um,
you.
don't forget, guys, I'm going to be back with you 8 o'clock with Paul Wilson. In the meantime, we're going to put some music on the radio, and you can listen to that, drive yourselves away, whatever you want to do, and I'll be back around about 8 o'clock.